There's no doubt that the Pfister Comet is a living legend that has been between us for almost 20 years. The first time it makes his debut into the Rockstar 3D universe was at Vice City, and since that time, the Comet mission has been only one, represents statically the Porsche 911, but in terms of functionality and performance, the Comet has been sometimes at the top, and other times has been at the bottom. And in fact, if you think about it, this thing has been 5 generations between us. Its first appearance was in Vice City, then it also came to San Andreas, and then back again into Vice City stories. And the thing is that during all this time, the Comet didn't change that much, not only in the static department, but also into the handling. It was just the same, and that wasn't bad, it just was boring with the time, because statics apart, it wasn't the fastest or the best in its segment. But then GT4 arrived by the hand of Nico Bellic, and the Comet took a dramatic change. Now the Comet wasn't anymore a simple sports car, it got refined in every aspect. In fact, it was the fastest car in GTA4 and one of the best handling and more funny cars, and it was 4-wheel drive, and it sounded so good. But then GTA5 came in, giving the automotive industry a bigger importance, creating car groups and taking the Comet to the sports car class. So we should suppose that it wasn't anymore the fastest car in GTA5, but it was the best at its own class, right? Well, here on my back, I have a, let's say, 5th gen Comet from GTA5. By the time that GTA Online was on his first steps, I was a normal player like anyone, and after some days making missions, I was able to save some money and buy a car. What was my decision? Buy a Pfister Comet. It was the first car I bought in GTA Online in 2013, and I tuned it the same as this spec. Metallic dark blue with Cheetah RR red rims and that huge spoiler just to resemble the real-life 997.2 911 GT3 RS. So, once I fully tuned it, I started the race, and sadly the new Comet's spirit and handling abilities started to come out. The Comet wasn't anymore the fastest 4-wheel drive car, because now it was rear-wheel drive, but it wasn't even the fastest rear-wheel drive car, or even the fastest at its own segment. It was now just another car into the sports car category, with the only mission of being a little part of the cake. So by the time the Comet was dead for most of the players of GTA Online, it just became a piece of museum that people will look and remember, but that nobody will want to drive. So, thinking it this way, Pfister only had one model in his entire lineup by 2013, the Comet. But then 3 years later, they came up with the monster of engineering, the 811, a hybrid supercar that competed against all the hybrid supercars in GTA. But again, it was a complete fail. Straight line performance was astonishing, but take that 811 to the track and the results were far from impressive. In fact, the 811 was around our test track only 0.3 of a second faster than the normal Comet. That means Pfister created a hybrid waste of money. So, not sure if Pfister did that on purpose, but they abandoned the 811 idea and they didn't create another supercar in the next years. So, where they tried to aim then? Well, all they did was creating all the possible variants that could be imagined, taking the Comet as base model. 2016 they came up with the Comet Retro, 2017 the Comet Safari. 2018 they decided again, after the 2 years catastrophic 811, create a new type model of car, the Pfister Neon, a 4-door electric sports sedan, which we already reviewed. Then, in 2018, after the success of the pretty fast crew and eco-friendly Pfister Neon, they decided again to try with the new variant of the Comet, the SR, which was supposed to be an improved version of the Comet. Everyone was so hyped about this one, but again, Pfister failed. The Comet SR was worse than the normal Comet in terms of handling and braking. It was supposed to be a more radical version of the Comet, and it simply was a waste of money. It was ahead of the normal Comet into the aesthetics, aerodynamics, and it had a better powertrain and traction. But that wasn't enough to fight with the original. The Comet SR was almost 2.5 seconds lower than the original Comet, so it was a complete mess. And guess what idiot also buy it again? Yes, you guessed it. And again, like with the first Comet, I was so disappointed. And by that time I didn't expect Pfister to come up with another, more radical and better version of the Comet. But 20 July 2021, Pfister came up with a surprise, I guess. This is the new Comet S2. And I'm not really sure what this thing is trying to be. I've been testing this car at the test track, also through mountain roads, and I am mad. Yeah, now exterior design, it's modern, beautiful, it still resembles the original Comet in some aspects. Interior design has been improved to look more like a real-life Porsche and all that. And handling? Well, let's say it's not improved, but it's funny and more enjoyable to drive. And here comes a spoiler. It's faster than the original Comet and the Comet SR at our test track. But here's one thing that I didn't tell you. Remember the Pfister Neon and Comet Retro we talked about? Well, those are the fastest Pfister cars at our test track. So that means that the new Comet S2 is slower than the Comet Retro. So it's not the fastest variant of the Comet, and it's slower than an electric 4-door sedan. So there's no sense on buying the Comet S2 except if you like the design, I guess. And maybe you can stay there thinking that what if you put some improvements into the Comet S2 to give it more aerodynamic performance and all that? Well, you can. But it's still the same shit. So from this point, what's gonna happen right now with Pfister? I mean, they entirely killed the Comet, the full Comet lineup, with an electric sedan. The fastest Comet is a retro version. Their best supercar, the expensive hybrid 811, is one of the slowest cars in their range. So Pfister is making everything wrong from the models they had on the market to the treatment they apply to their models. So, what Comet you should choose will depend on what you want. All I know is that if I had to spend my money on a Comet variant, it wouldn't be on the fastest variant or the most modern. So, which one will I choose will be the original one, and only for a good reason. To me, the Comet philosophy has always been not being the perfect car, but being good in every possible aspect. And I think that the 2013 Comet is the one that best resembles that philosophy. And today in 2021, that design is not much outdated. So, for now, that's the only thing we got unless Pfister decide to make again another variant of the Comet or give that Comet philosophy of being good at almost everything to a new sports car model. And good news, cause in the same update we got the new Comet S2, Pfister also came up with a new model. So we will see if Pfister maybe this time has done well their homeworks.